Hey everybody, EchoV here, and for this video, I'll be looking at the Zoids Wild ZW26 Cannonball by Takara Tomy. And before we take a look at the model itself, let's first take a look at its box, and right at its front, as always, there is some amazing artwork of the model itself. And if we go to the sides, this one in particular has a cool looking bull fossil, while the other side has its gimmicks. I mean, this is a motorized kit after all, so it makes sense. And if we go to the top and bottom of the box, it simply has the covered but in a smaller scale. And finally, the back of the box, which has its stats, its arsenal, as well as some amazing art on the model if it were a live action machine. And then you have this portion here in the top right, which shows some of the possible customs the thing can have. I don't have the customs, so I won't be talking about them. And now that we're done with the box, back to the model itself, and this model is amazing. It is what it is about going too overboard. And I know this will come off as a hot take to a lot of us OG Zoid fans out there, but its predecessor, the D-Bison in my opinion, was a bit excessive. And this is coming from a guy who is well aware about the existence of Gundramon from Digimon. One of the few things that you will notice is that unlike most of the other kits in the line, is that the Cannonball has a visor, which might make you believe that this doesn't have any of those eyepieces, and I wouldn't really blame you, but unfortunately, you're wrong. Remove any of its two headpieces, and there is in fact an eyepiece hidden underneath, which means that these eyepieces are pretty much a mainstay at this point. So, yeah. Sorry folks. Back to the model itself, I love its coloring. I don't know why, but the color combination of dark green along with the yellowish green for the rubber caps works really well with the rest of the colors, specifically with the black bone structure and the brown mechanical parts of the weapon. As for articulations, there's not much going for. I mean, it is a motorized kit after all, but you still have a rotation of the horns. It could be a full 360, but the rubber caps kinda block it. You can rotate it far back enough for a hinge to the head that can be somewhat locked in, tail can be moved side to side, and the weapon cover can also slide up and down, but that's more for the Wild Blast mode later on. Okay, before we move on, something about the tail reminded me of something. I don't know why, but if you go to instructions, the tail has to be attached in a specific way. I didn't try to attach it the wrong way for obvious reasons, but for those who can understand why, let me know in the comments please, thank you. Okay, moving on. As for its size comparison, it's decently sized. Here's Real Figure Deluxe 2 Roy Mustang, the Supernova Murasame Liger, and the previous review, the AOI Mech Crush Slag. Yeah, I'm keeping it in combined mode because the Devastator review is still in production. Stay tuned folks. And because it's a Zoids Wild model kit, here's a fellow Zoids Wild model and another previous review in the channel, the Zoids Wild Ganon Toys. And with all that now out of the way, let's see it in action. As you can see, it moves alright, and typically what you would expect from a motorized Zoids kit. I don't know if it's just me, but if one of its front and back legs are close to each other, it kinda looks like it's about to tip over. Thankfully, it doesn't, because I can imagine playing cow tipping with a huge mechanical bull would not end well for you. And now for its Wild Blast mode. Just lift up its weapon cover and fold it back so it covers the pilot. And here we have the Wild Blast mode. There's really not much to say. I mean, it's just the Cannonball with its hatch open to reveal its cannon turrets. And with nothing more to say, here it is in action. And again, it's pretty much the same as its regular movement. In my opinion, the clicking noise is a great detail, as it does give the illusion of the Zoid firing its cannons off. It's also been engineered to do this one column at a time, as evidenced by the turrets moving in and out of its housing unit. Again, I really wish there was a way to still the model so it can fire in place. And here's a closer look at its turrets in case you all were curious. And here's another closer look, this time at how its mouth opens. I should have mentioned this earlier, but there is a piece on its left side that pushes the head up and down. Not really worth mentioning, I know, just thought I'd say it. Overall, I like this model a lot. It's definitely one of the best designs out there, although that is simply just my opinion. The retreating cannons in blast mode is really nice, almost like a recoil effect. And to my knowledge, none of the OG Zoids with cannons ever did that, but again, I could be wrong. Maybe it's just me, but I think starting with this figure onward, they're doing a better job at hiding the pilot more, making them less obvious. And that's it for this video, everyone. Any thoughts about this? Or are you questioning why I do these things so late and not when they're newly released? Either way, comment below. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If it's your birthday today, then happy birthday. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye everyone, be good to each other.